Why are you afraid of a third term? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid?
Jerry Rawlings, who was the founder of this party, never at any point was urged by anybody to go for any third term. You have a bunch of sycophants who today think that all they need to do is to sing praises and hoping that somehow those praises will get them some opportunities that they are looking for. You don't love our country. You don't love our party. If you do, you will know, besides sycophants.
Fifi the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, sending a shockwave message to the NDC Amanukuno, from leadership to appointees to the grassroots. Message in the crown, a beacon Ghana for now. Now maybe bisa say, is it because say the leadership in parliament for the majority, Mahama Ayariga eka and same way in parliament. Eno ena Emma Fifi yato and same way amane NDC leadership ana. Yenti Mahama Ayariga in parliament some time back.
No. That due to the very, very excellent performance so far of John Dramani Mahama, Ghanaians are asking him to seek a third term. I know that. I know that because I read on social media, I listen to conversations, and Ghanaians believe that as a result of the good deeds of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, they don't want him to leave the presidency.
They believe a third term is possible.
And they believe that a third term is possible. And they are demanding for a third term. But John Dramani Mahama has not given any indication that he wants to go for a third term. But I have always said that Ghanaians will be the ultimate deciders of the future of this country. Ultimately, it will be the constitution, the institutions, and the citizens of Ghana who will determine the future of our country. Why are you afraid of a third term? Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid?
Now, yenti this message from Fifi Kwete. Or describe some NDC appointees as sycophants. Or describe actions as bootlicking. Or just said there are some NDC appointees who are secretly pushing a third term agenda for President John Dramani Mahama. Now, I say even JJ Rawlings, the Constitution and as a party didn't allow him, and as I didn't push any third term agenda for him. Now, actions bootlicking. Now they are sycophants. In fact, angrily, and I was sending this message. Me person me kasa ebewana, me person obe coming home. Na yakoti this message from Fifi Kwete. Ye the yansem no be ebeko the last end of the video. Na yakotre yadwe ebo.
Thank you very much, and let me stand on all protocol and acknowledge our Vice President who is here to grace the occasion, my national chairman, all the dignitaries on the high table, and also all of you, the great people of Adan who have welcomed us here today, all our cadres, and all of you who continue to be inspired by what happened 44 years ago when war the then chairman of the PNDC called a holy war was started. 44 years it is, and it's always important to never forget where we are coming from, especially given the opportunities that we've been blessed with. Exactly a year ago, when the people of Ghana gave us opportunity to be able to lead in 2016, after the election in 2016, many believe was almost the end of this great party, because the defeat was so humiliating, it was so crushing, that very many people even within the NDC thought that was about us gone. Very similar to what happened in the year 2000 when the MPP came into office. And people like Kweku Baku declared that the NDC was gone and hardly was ever going to be able to make it. It's pretty obvious that there is spirit that anchors this party. The spirit that is a never say die spirit. So no matter how dark it is, that spirit always has a way to rise again. And the reason why that spirit is so strong is because 44 years ago, what happened was not a movement by one man to simply make history for himself. It was not a movement by one man to try to do something for himself or his friends. But that was effectively one man who said, enough is enough. Let's do something for our nation. I remember in the very early days of the revolution, he actually instructed that he did not want his, what's the name? The one we put in offices. Yeah, his effigies, his photo to be placed in offices. He wanted to let us appreciate that it's not about him. It's about us. It's about what we all as a people should always strive to achieve. I remember one of the most powerful statements he made, and he did that in an interview. When he was asked, how exactly do you hope to ensure that the aspiration of the people are never disappointed? And then he said, we should work to reach a state where even if Satan were the collective resolve, our vigilance is such that Satan will be afraid to do what is wrong. That is the spirit of Jerry Rawlings. That is the bedrock of the revolution. That's the spirit that actually undergirds the NDC. A spirit that does not believe in sycophancy. A spirit that does not believe in bootlicking. A spirit that places the people and the well-being of the people ahead at all moments. So these days it saddens me when I see so much sycophancy creeping into our party. I see a group of people who obviously, from every indication, they believe that singing the praises of a leader is the only way they can survive. And that's why you hear some of those people even urging statements like there should be a third term. It's just nothing but sycophancy. Pure sycophancy and bootlicking of the highest order. Jerry Rawlings, who was the founder of this party, never at any point was urged by anybody to go for any third term. You have a bunch of sycophants who today think that all they need to do is to sing praises and hoping that somehow those praises will get them some opportunities that they are looking for. You don't love our country. You don't love our party. If you do, you will know besides sycophants. It's important for us to appreciate that this party was grounded on the need to work for our people. We say cadres may go, cadres may come, but the revolution has come to stay. That simply means it is not about individuals. It's about us as a collective, ensuring that what is right must be done. So it's important for us to always place this party and this country always at the top. Jerry Rawlings came, serve us to the best of his ability. He's gone. Prof. Mills, best of his ability, he's gone. John Mahama is serving to the best of his ability. Bless him, he's doing wonderful. But even his time will come. Why? Because cadres will go, cadres will come, but the great NDC and the revolution has come to stay. And that must always be the number one. Always number one. Placing this party, placing this country always at the top. But some of us that are away, all we want to do is simply to be rolling on the floor and praising individuals, believing that somehow when we do that, we will be able to get what it is we want. When you do such thing, it shows clearly you don't love this country enough. You don't like this party enough. Let's build the country that no matter who is involved, who is in charge, the right things get done. And I think that's what my sister Zanetto spoke about. Ensure that no matter who is involved, let the right things be done at all moments. That is the only way we will be able to stay true to the commitment and the fact that the people are giving us an opportunity to serve them. The reset agenda has started, and we are grateful for the beautiful work that has been done so far. The same way we've been blessed with a great electoral victory, same way the first year has been blessed. There is a good wind that has been at our back. We must always remain humble, to remain thankful to God, because clearly this wind is not human. How many of us here believe that you could get to third majority in parliament in 2024? I can tell you, not one of us. Definitely the national chairman and myself, even though we are in charge of the party, didn't believe that we could win to third majority. So what happened is beyond us. And so we must always remain humble and always remain thankful for that great wind that was at our back. And that same wind is blowing behind the economy, providing us the discipline and the commitment to do what is right for our people. I want to use this opportunity to say the same way we have tried in the first year to try to work hard without a scandal, we should remain committed to doing the same in the second year. Any individuals in our party who have found themselves in government, who think that somehow they can misbehave in this second year, please think again. Think again. Because that will not happen. As Zanetto rightly said, the bar must be higher. And to him, a lot is given, a lot is expected. The people of Ghana have given us a wonderful opportunity to serve, and we must never disappoint. So, comrades, I want to use the opportunity to wish all of us the very best of the new year. We pray that that good wind continues to be at our back, and that wind continues to be the back of all of us and our families, so that next year, by the time we meet again, we'll be thankful that a great job has continued, and the people of Ghana are the better for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, CEO of our party.
Fifi Kwete, Etrese, one will pussy a third term agenda for President John Dramani Mahama. Though President John Dramani Mahama, Ankasa Babonten, Abekasa, Uncle Term, the spokesperson, Felix Ofosu Kwache, Abekasa, Chairman General Asiedun Ketia, and so Acha said there will be no third term for President John Dramani Mahama. Fifi Kwete, Ankasanso Aka. Not once said there will not be a third term for President John Dramani Mahama. And until the appointees be secretly pushing a third term agenda for President John Dramani Mahama to please him. Send a beya nadim adomu omunyai na auto atnesemson auto another powerful message emma any appointee bia under President John Dramani Mahama said omunche omunyuma ye na so omo feel say there is a room for them to misbehave, there is a room for them to abuse power. NDC and I said ono Fifi Kwete is no and I said enche emma esanimano enkoso not under his watch emma omo abuse power. This is not the agenda of President John Dramani Mahama. Name this is an agenda for some appointees and affairs in the Ghana for omo just say President John Dramani Mahama should amend the constitution na onko a third term. Yentie Ghana for adventure on this matter. Now we a message from some traders in Kumasi market. Omocho said President John Dramani Mahama should consider going a third term.
Central Market, Swame, Bantama, Race Course, any Asafo, any Abinchi, any Yeshem Waha, any Aseda. Any of this idea, or Mayewa, John Dramani Mahama. I said, I had a man or anything. Yasha say a 2 abani yeno. The Sumi and Penny. Yasha Yama, Yama, Asantama, Nasa, or my gun and na. Not a brother and Tiaso. Yama for dear, ye drama Santamai. Yasha Yara. Regular Minister, Mr. Frank, Odenema, Yensha Duma, Wabo, Emma Santamai. Yes, I shall Yera, Maya, Wadenama, Eya Zuba. Also, Bird Duma, Sonkoso, Emma Santamai. Ama, Busumi, Yensha Putua, Eba Santamai. Now the Bayer General Swa. Yaya Zuba, Yaya management or the Ama, a judge for a Jayu. Kajetia, Ahanum. Now there were Diamano, Ella, Afa Yaw. Almost Jumadia, one more book. A boy didn't just so. And to Yaya Mahama, Yada was said, I am friend, Shamusa, Yada said that and now. Now, Bama, your Bapa beer or Tainachi. Enti ene timi ya sa de we ya ma me rodina ya nkasa enya wumuda ya mo ya papa di enya wudi boda esansa wo na wo ta na chi e ma ne ya sa ne ma papa we nyina de ma sante man ma me rodina anyi ma fo nyina se ya dawase ni wo futu pa wo de ma ya papa ya dawase ene nkwancha sama wo ka cha ya papa ma aduma e go so wo mo ya e ma ye. So you should get him pa. You have a Mahama and NDC abai and the Sima yay. A woman that 8 years. Young who do almost so still pay almost not completely. You know you will show you. So Rebecca, regular minister, and then Mayor, and my central market first two. I want to know trust and way am I? They are the strategists, say. That's why I never see Central Market in my way. No question to Janso. Yes, so we say, yeah, Papa Mahama. They are never known so maybe my way. Nonsense, yeah, how? But then so many coin, a coin. I will let a man tamo, a coin, a big baby. Or your way. If you want to your fire and some kind of yes, so said the year my way. So a bus. Never start to and blame by young man for your church. I say, your bubble children, your father, so you're not tired. I'm a watcher, a daddy sibling. As I say, when they 5 months ago, I am my way. Not for 4 years, a little bit, a bad person, and to never tired. I'm a watch out to us. Yada was it.
For me, I was born into like the MPP UP tradition.
Wow.
My father was, my mom, my family, everybody, we are UP tradition. But now, how things are going, I can choose anybody. If you come, you are from NDC, you are good, I'll vote for you.
Allah.
If you come, you are from MPP and you are good, I'll vote for you. So that's it. I'm apolitical. I am in between. I go where a person is good, and then I follow him. But if say President Mahama they come another time, I'll vote for him. Allah. If me for now, for the things that are the small things that I've seen, if he was to come
again,
I will be the first person to just like lead and say we are going to his house, so I'm voting for him. Yeah, I mean I'll be factual.
Now, traders from KJT Eddie and same way if told you. This is another video from YOC and also call for a third term for President John Dramani Mahama.
You are John Dramani Kwame Mahama. Oba mechiao papa wada woma so obeka se unkobi papa oman ni sufra obi papa oman ni hia wo mo a papa oman ni sufra be yesu se yemu yentimi nka papa de we wusi wu oman yi yesrew na me adom wonya 2/3 of parliament papa constitution da ho se ye be review and I said, by amendment. Papa, you first have konya weso. Papa, any amendment. Next to so another 4 years be my. Papa said, you see, boo, my. Oh, you're coming come out to soon, you know. Yes, sir. Oh, so what can so be dear. Papa, but oh, you state man. Oh, mining in our daddy so. Oh, money can't go here. Papa, oh, my sir. Yes, sir. Papa, yes, sir. One amendment. Papa, next another 4 years, my. This is so my no crowd and son won't be my young was a won't be. Papa, yes, sir. Papa, a cross waka and so me. Papa yesro sabre bi my why. Papa sabre bi my omani hian. Papa omani hian. Papa nyesa nye kakra no. Oman obi be demonstration o. Obi de be demonstration na demonstration ye no. Ye nya for bi ase ye hian o tetem. Papa ye hian o tetem zan so ba tetem a. Ye mse Ghana ahudwo beba asundwe beba omani be ye. Papa minim so wadi atum. Pia
When you see President John Dramani Mahama, the reincarnation of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, anything on consider a third term. Constitution is meant for growth. Yet me amend the constitution. Yet me say anything. Why you see President John Dramani Mahama, share na offer Emra Kwanso and amend the constitution. Send a beya, or wait me a call a third term. Kwame A+. And so I can similar message. I brought a granted an interview at UTV. The UNT on also not to enter.
Pamicho Ghana for moment at DBS. Matete Sankrof was here. Mahama Peso, Pami Chief Justice, Senabeya, Obeko for a third term. Mepacho, studying at the Marani idea.
And look what they say, government communication minister for, communication, Honorable Phyllis Kwachofu, so they are better just no crebiasa.
Onokra one can Kwajofu so one can ye.
I don't guess what can I say.
John Mahama bet to me a seeking for billion terms. A yamra Ghana constitution a wodia media yen never to me constitution no say upesa also some bibi wo mu afako ha emra na ye tro no ye say a justice soa to forwards attorney general ne judgment no otro wo mu say constitution no enye just text to say ne da he then you are why
me dem is so honorable can
first year I say a living organism capable of growth into no constitution no it will say any and you say attract one and one no. So if the president thinks that the term limit no emwa Ghana obey to meet the constitution now call parliament say parliament me feel say Ghana no I will say a term limit free so udi 100 terms kwana nkofo so mpewa also what transnational development eyamra da ho enye John Mahama de share samra no
but for now dear
no John Mahama on make us as ba me pese ade no ko bi atrim say nya ye dede say John Mahama petete omo ye lawyer for omo nim nyamra ne ka emra ne say John Mahama feel so pese o tena so bi mu a on famra parliament obo ba beto yen wo ho yen ne ye behwe ade no aka say okay emra no ampa ya change mra na yen say wudi president obetumi edi akwisi obewu and I say kura yen to aba wo Ghana ye betumi akọ parliament aye mra say Ghana kura yen to aba biu ya tan no betumi aye mra say Ghana yen to aba biu obene into no say no but me preempt omo sorry omo bi ehu say enye John Mahama na aba hye sa amra no aye mra da ho into say parliament approve ye the mra ba na say parliament approve say ampa ade we yasesa na nya the numbers to do it obeka say hwan na MPP for ye say speaker into men to aba hefa no mde kokoye say speaker betumi ato aba omo de mra na no mde call court omo say speaker betumi ato ye say yi levy no mde call court ye say birth certificate ye ntumi mfa to aba ye betumi de ato aba no mde call court enya mra corona no mo use but every time be obi so be use the same emra ni bi pe we say hey Dabi,
you say no more cases. I'm Rakrona, and I say, "O penny person seeking for interpretation. Or most to say one shot no more that interpretation. That could mean so bit me as I am."
No, your court never interpret. Yet, think Chrome here. You born 9090 court. The Supreme Court 90. Yet, I say I could for the court a election petition 5 minutes near can we some coffee and koda. The nursing Juanjo or the free court to her. Obey if you be a press conference. Wanjantum also mejitum I don't know me no mo yagbe but mejitum or the coffee John Mahama or no so the election petition ko yes Jim Mensa oh yeah easy boss omba na yem bisa na some MPP for said that yama Jim Mensa nkasa wo court ho omo ye yama Jim Mensa nkasa enya mra kro na say do say NDC for the as NDC for the Ghana ha edu omo so dia constitution no yema obi intino position
no easy no na kan say won kasa na say MPP na
omo defend omo make sure say yema Jim Mensa nkasa wo court ho you follow this case
EC is an institution on its own
they ensured that the electoral commissioner will never testify in that matter when cross-examine electoral commissioner no
but say no right to do so the constitution
no person obey in our backing of Omo and Omo Abemusa time, you know, and so they decided that they will not allow her. They will not allow the we know friends opposition for no defense lawyers no to cross-examine her, and they didn't. They used the same law. Into mpamocha emrana nye nipa ba akodia. Ye nyina ye dia.
But do you think say now the opposition party no feel say emrana ye pomo?
Say na 3 days ya mo feel say emrana ye bibi. Na 3 days ya.
We ene Kwame A+ ne take on the third term agenda for President John Dramani Mahama. Or just said the constitution is a living organism made for growth. And if say President John Dramani Mahama ebeko third term, the constitution will be brought to parliament for the amendment to be made. Send ya obetimi ako a third term. What do you say? Do you think the constitution should be amended for President John Dramani Mahama to attain a third term? For what do you try in comment section? Now, I would like to give you a very short history on one country which is very powerful. In the early 1990s, Russia was facing the problems Ghana is facing. Make us even worse than Ghana is facing. Now, the president of Russia, and I said the current president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, so for 2 consecutive terms. So not constitution no makwan say Vladimir Putin ebe sign call a third term. Na ofri so ema Dmitry Medvedev ebe di president. Ema Vladimir Putin ebe ye prime minister. Na emunu ena Dmitry Medvedev amende constitution no ena ema Vladimir Putin akwanya. So obetimi abe di Russia so for another terms. Now currently it is believed that Vladimir Putin the Russia so up to 2036. Now you what Vladimir Putin has done in Russia. Enipa bia enya perfect. And I say in politics we always say choose the lesser evil and work with the lesser evil. Vladimir Putin one excesses or on the dark side. Nemum ye share idea why ye Russia. Senya offer a crumbling empire and made it feared again. Do you think, say, my President John Dramani Mahama, Akwanya, Emma, or amende a constitution, sign a third term, a fourth term? Do you think, say, Ghana, ebetimi arise from the knees to a state obia ebetimi akase President John Dramani Mahama, and ebefa Ghana, abra. Na Ghana ewa on the knees and a one making a superpower and I say a fiat country. For I don't ever comment section. I leave it onto Ghana. I leave it onto Parliament. I leave it onto the judiciary. I leave it to one hour kabia ewom. The constitution is a living organism capable of growth. Yebetimi amendeno. Yebetimi ama President John Dramani Mahama a third term, a fourth term, even an indefinite term. And your decision. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. At long last, no Ghana for any better about I just say, ye pe asumasi, ye pe this leader, ye pe obenten as your leader.